Hi Pisces, welcome to your mid-September reading. The chaotic energy I felt yesterday, I did not want to bring to your reading. But Gemini can always use that energy. Before I was able to sit down and do your reading and actually feel like it would transpire truthfully, was to first make quite a lot of plans of where to put what and what to clean and how to organize it, and I really got to get it together and figure out where all my stuff is and stop trying to just put it somewhere and forget about it and run away from it. And it was when I confronted that energy that I realized that that's exactly what you guys need to do. From the 13th until the first week of October, it's time to not escape. The more you try to escape, the more you will lessen your chances. What do I mean by escape? There is the emotional escapism here. 4 of Cups, 5 of Cups. There is that leaning on the significant other and the family that often happens with the Pisces. There, another form of escapism. There is the being mired down, allowing oneself to become consumed with money worries and not being able to go with the flow, getting stuck when that money energy retrogrades in Aries. At these different turns, you want to escape into a life of fantasy. Now, that fantasy is not always the 10 of Pentacles, although often it is. You are romantics at heart, and when you're stressed, you have a tendency to daydream. And generally, your daydreams are very positive, and for many of you, you are setting out on a journey with not as much as you need, leaving what is a pretty comfortable existence for one that is risky, but if the risk pays off, it's big. So some of you are using that escapism in a very, that urge to escape in a very practical, productive, positive way by applying it to this risk taking, whether it's leaving the country, whether it's starting a new business, whether it's taking on a new education, whatever it is, you've decided that to leave the comfort of what you know and start from the bottom is okay, because the payoff, the sun, is so big and you believe in yourself. So if that's how you're using this escapist energy, perfect, great. And if that happens to line up with your daydreams, even better. Here's the issue. The issue is that often those daydreams are not positive. Those thoughts are a bit obsessive. They are depressive. They are consuming. When you get into the, I wish it was more like this bag. When you get into the, I wish they were more like that bag. I wish I had done this. I wish they had done that. This 4 and 5 of Cups energy is so easy for Pisces to get stuck in, and it's just sitting in your chart waiting for you to fall into it like quicksand. When Mars goes retrograde, for some reason, even though it has the most effect on money, and money just not flowing as easily as it should, and kind of for no reason too, but for some reason it has much more of an effect on just not just the money aspect, but on you. For a sign that is deeply spiritual, connected to the subconscious, magical, equated with, the fantasy realm, really, the part of us that we have zero access to, but you have complete access to. It's ironic that someone like that would still hold quite a lot of would hold quite a lot of room still in their personality, in their image, for material gain, for promotion, for fame, for success, for the markers of success, a certain kind of beauty, a certain kind of clothing, the material markers, 10 of Pentacles of success. For such a spiritual sign, Pisceans have a flair for consuming the material, doing it very well, but still needing it to define their value, which is where it starts to get dangerous. Because if for some reason, like right now, Mars is going retrograde in Aries, if for some reason money gets slow, if your identity is all wrapped up and your value is all wrapped up in that aspect of your life, when that money slows down, you're going to start to slow down in terms of how you think of yourself. With every obstacle that puts a little more time between you and the money, you're putting a little more space between you and your value. Now, the money will pick up. Mars will go direct in November, and everything will be fine, God willing. But it's not about that. It's about the damage done in the interim to you, which is where the escapism comes from. You're smart enough that when you start to feel bad, you retreat into your head somewhere. Like I said, the issue though is that instead of retreating into a very positive part of your mind where you're thinking up the next move, or actually putting it into practical use, you can easily slip into a place of futility, and like just a kind of fatalism settles on you. Like, no, this isn't working out. Maybe nothing is going to work out. How come nothing's working out? Maybe this has to do with me. Maybe this is because of me being how I am. If I wasn't like this, then it wouldn't be like. We don't want to go there. 1, it's unproductive. 2, it's not true. 3, instead of going here, much better boss level moves to instead learn the lesson that my identity is not defined, my value is not defined by my material success. No matter how much anyone tries to tell me that I don't need to validate my existence by being a success. I don't need to make X amount of money or have XYZ things to show for the money I've made to justify my existence here or my presence here. That's the deeper lesson. And it's a hard one because it hits on all kinds of other things, as you can tell. Because what is that, what's right underneath that? Well, why would one need to in any way search for something to justify their taking up of this space here? And that speaks clearly to self-worth. So September is a little bit difficult in that it wants to teach you some lessons. Jupiter and Saturn go direct, and they're they want to push you forward. The whole zodiac, the whole wheel gets this energy, pulsing through, passing through, pushing forward. Time to level up again. And if you can use those daydreams, like I said, in a positive fashion, great. But don't escape into your head and start believing your own insecurities. Instead, we're going to delve deeper than that. And in the face of what is supposed to make you feel unworthy, ironically, instead you find limitless value that can never be taken away, too. And that makes for an extremely strong person who, by the way, then ends up attaining quite a lot of power and a lot of material success anyway. So it's like you figure out in September into October how to steer this manifestation boat the right way. You're at the helm of the Dreamboat. Where are we taking it? Where are you allowing it to go? Things to ponder. All right. Well, I'll be right back in the extended. We'll shuffle through. It'll be fun. The extendeds have been a lot of fun lately, actually. I've really been enjoying them. Links for private readings are below. Video chat readings, the instant extended, or on Vimeo. These are the Quietest Revolution rings, the High Priestess, the Empress. They're also available at links below if you would like clearer pictures of them and to see Rev Fam wearing them. There's also a link to the Instagram. And if you're interested in a daily horoscope and look at the chart, you can follow the Revolution on Instagram as well. That link is below. I love you, love you. I'll see you in a second.